Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, Higher Self and Holistic Health. Today, I want to talk about eating elephants. What? Not literally eating elephants, but how do you eat an elephant? Elephant is a metaphor for a big problem or a big project or a huge to-do list. So you have an elephant and you need to eat it all. How do you do that? One bite at a time. So about 25 years ago or more, don't want to age myself, I read a bunch of self-help books, and I want to give you some tips on how to eat an elephant, which would actually be how to conquer a huge task or project or a big to-do list. And I also want to give you a tip today on how to accept worry and how to learn how to not worry about things. The third thing I want to do is show you how to prioritize. So we are going to start with taking one step at a time. So how do you go about doing that? You have this huge project and you never think you're going to get it done. Maybe you have a deadline and you've got to break it up into pieces. You have to get 3 parts done each day for the next 2 weeks to finish the project. How do you do this? So the first thing you want to do is get a piece of paper out and brainstorm. Write down everything that you have to do in order to accomplish this huge task of eating this elephant. So you write down all the pieces and parts. Number one, say it's a school project. You're going to school and you have this, 5,000 word report due in 2 weeks. Plus you have work and you have your kids have soccer practice. So how are you going to fit this all in? So you write down everything that you need to get done so that you can get this 5,000 word essay completed with all these other daily tasks. So once you have the list written out, then you need to look at it and say, what must be done, and prioritize the list. So you have to take your kids to school. You have to go to work. So write down how much time each of those things take. So you've got 8 hours at work, a half an hour driving each way. You've got to feed the family, so that's going to take another hour. You have, you have soccer practice. So if you drove the kid to soccer practice and soccer practice was 2 hours and then you had to drive back, write down everything. How long does it take to take a shower? How long does it take to get dressed? Then you can kind of see where you're at with your time and where you may be able to cut time. Maybe you can have carpooling to the soccer practice where it might save you 3 hours that day. Maybe you can skip putting on your makeup or condense things, make a 5-minute dinner instead of an hour dinner. And then once you save that extra time, now maybe at the end of the day you have 2 extra hours or 3 extra hours. So then you have to look at that big project and go, okay, I got to do one bite at a time. I'm going to spend these extra 2 hours or 3 hours a day writing 300 words or 400 words or 500 words a day, and that's your goal. So you're taking one little chunk at a time, and you're not looking, you can't look at the whole project because it is overwhelming. So you need to break it down into days and then into hours and tiny little bites. And then it all adds up and you eventually will get it done. So every night before you go to bed, this is for just your daily stuff. That's for a big project, but we always have stuff to do. And in order to feel like we're making progress, a good way to do it is to write down a list of all the stuff you want to get done the next day. Do it before bed. Get it out of your head. Get it onto paper. That's important so you can sleep well. Once you get it all out on paper, I want you to scan the list and I want you to find the number one most important thing on the list that you must get done. Write a 1 by it. Find the second most important thing, write a 2 by it, and the third, and write a 3 by it. Now, as long as you get those top 3 priorities done, you are successful for the day. If you get more than 3 done, then that's great. And you might say, well, that's nothing. Well, it is something. And if you're already getting out of bed and taking a shower and eating a meal and getting dressed, you're probably not going to include those on your list. You're going to go, I have to make it to work. Huge thing accomplished there. I have to pick the kids up from school. Another big priority. And then I have to make a phone call to pay a bill. Okay, so you've accomplished the 3 top priorities. If you accomplish more than 3, then you'll feel great. And each time you accomplish your top 3 priorities, as you accomplish them on your list, cross them off, write a line through it, and then look at that list at the end of the day and go, wow, I got a lot done. And then make your list for the next day. And when you make your list, you're getting it all out of your head. You're sleeping better because it's all out on your head and you don't have to remember any of it. It's all on paper. So when you wake up in the morning, first thing you want to do, look at that list, look at your priorities, and start working on number 1. So you can get 1, 2, and 3 out of the way. And if you get 20 of them done, and you look at that list at night, you'll be like, wow, I've really got a lot done today. But sometimes we just go, and we still feel like we didn't accomplish anything. And we're beating ourselves up when really, we really did accomplish a lot. And we should feel proud. So make your priority list. Number your things you want to accomplish in your list with, the priority steps, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and do those first. Cross them off as you get them done. And same thing with your eating an elephant, taking care of that huge task. You got to do it 1 bite at a time. 1 little bite at a time. And pretty soon, before you know it, you'll have eaten the whole elephant. So sometimes we got to close our eyes to that huge picture and focus on the little bite. And just keep taking those little bites until we finish the elephant. The other thing I wanted to talk about is how to not worry. So in one of these self-help books, and I can't remember which one, I used to worry a lot about just anything, so many things. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I lose my job? What if I can't pay a house payment? What if, I get a flat tire? Okay, take a deep breath and stop. So this is how we don't worry. First, you think of the thing that you're worrying about. Okay. Say they're laying people off, right? And you don't have 3 to 6 months saved in your savings account because you're living paycheck to paycheck. So you're worrying and worrying and worrying and making yourself sick. So what you do is you go, okay, if I get laid off and I can't pay my house payments, it's going to take 3 to 6 months for the mortgage company to kick me out. And even if I did lose my house, I've got this family member, this friend that will let me sleep on their couch until I get back on my feet. And even if my friends won't let me sleep on their couch, there are churches and shelters that will help. And you just keep thinking of the worst scenario. And then you go, okay, that's the very worst scenario. I have no job, no money, no house. I got to start all over. And you accept it. You accept it. You go, okay, I am going to survive if I lose my job and I lose my house and I have nowhere to stay. I'm going to survive. It's going to be okay because I'm going to find another job and I'm going to start over. I'm going to get back on my feet. So once you've accepted that worst case scenario, now you can let it go. And 90% of the time, what you're worrying about never happens anyway. So that is what I learned to help me quit worrying, and it really works. You just think of the worst thing possible. Accept it. And then whatever happens, it's not going to be that bad. And it's going to be so much better, and you're going to be thankful instead of upset. You're going to be going, wow, I lost my job, but the next week I got another one that paid more. Or, someone helped me pay one mortgage payment, and then I found another job, and I got back on my feet. And I got to keep I have my house. I don't have to start over, and I have a job and income. And so whatever happens, not going to be as bad as what you accepted. That is the way to quit worrying. That is the way to eat an elephant. So I hope you found some value, and I hope you start practicing these steps of writing your lists and crossing them off, and being able to sleep well and not worry anymore. And that's part of our higher self. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up and click subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Blessings. Take care.